from any tree of the garden you may eat freely, but from the tree of knowledge you shall not eat."
It seems very apparent to me that the Abrahamic religions have always tried to suppress knowledge. From the very birth of Judaism to modern-day Christianity, knowledge has presented problems for this belief system. Let's think about this psychologically. If you have a group of people who believe in something false, or mirrors no reality in the real world, what would you expect their attitude towards knowledge would be? If somebody's belief is void of evidence, or lacking a cooperation with reality, we might expect to find expressions of bitterness towards intelligence, or even discouragement from associating with knowledge. Oddly enough, all of these sentiments are potent within the Christian Bible. In the book of Luke, Jesus is quoted as saying, "I praise you, Father, because you have hidden these things from the wise and the learned, and revealed them to little children. No one knows the Father except the Son, and those to whom the Son chooses to reveal him." This passage is clearly saying a Christian God hides the truth from intelligent people. Let's think about that. Our souls are on the line, and God wishes all to be saved, but he hides the truth from smart people, so only the fool-minded can be saved. Who would write this, and why? The Apostle Paul wrote, "God was pleased to save those who believe through the nonsense of our preaching." What these verses are really telling us without saying it is that even back then, in Paul's own day, smart people did not believe these stories because they lacked agreement with reality. These verses are revealing a problem that existed going all the way back to the very birth of Christianity. We all know that intelligent minds seek evidence and logic to determine what is true or false. These books are yelling out loud and clear that the evidence these stories are lacking today was equally lacking back then. All of these verses are really showing the true vulnerability and anxiety Christianity has always felt towards smart people who want to use their heads and ask tough questions. These verses exist as an escape route to avoid critical thinking in order to adopt a faith that manifests no reality in a real world. Knowledge and intelligence becomes a natural enemy and a threat to all things that are fable. The book of Colossians says, "See to it that no one takes you captive according to the thinkers and principles of the world, but only think according to Christ." Or, in other words, be completely close-minded and brainwashed in Christ. A letter to Timothy says to avoid worldly discussions and oppose arguments referred to as knowledge. In other words, don't debate smart people. He goes on to say that those who entertain knowledge will lose their faith. Wow, that is rather revealing. In other words, if you exercise your intelligence, you will stop believing these stories. Paul also wrote, "I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and the cleverness of the clever I will set aside." Christians were clearly in a defensive position against intelligence. Obviously, these magical Jesus and apostle tales failed to convince the thinkers of that day. This is more than simply reading between the lines. The New Testament clearly paints for us a real struggle. A battle against knowledge and intelligence really speaks volumes about what this faith was dealing with during its conception. Intelligent people have always asked to see evidence. This lacking of evidence has always been a problem for Christianity. and discouragement from exercising intelligence or asking tough questions reoccurs over and over throughout these books. This theme still runs strong to this very day. Christians today are still trying to explain away God's lacking presence in reality. Have you ever heard this one? God doesn't manifest in reality because of free will. Or, God doesn't always answer prayers because He has other plans for you. Folks, what are they really telling us? Are we seeing a trend? Do you see the pattern? Consider this. People must do all the talking and writing for this God. This God needs your money. It's been 2,000 years since Jesus said He was coming back soon, and this God has not manifested even a sliver of existence in reality. Ironically, most Christians cannot even pose the question to themselves, "What if I am wrong?" They are trapped in a perpetuating delusion. I believe it is time for humanity to give knowledge and intelligence a chance, to embrace it. Stay strong and wise, my friends.
It can get crazy out there.